Hey guys, it's Kelly and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a brand new 2024 Subaru CrossTrek tour. I am actually pleasantly surprised and very excited to present this as a great option for families looking for a smaller car. This car has incredible tech, a nice redesign, a spacious backseat and trunk, and this one, the sport model, tops out at $32,000 MSRP on the model I'm going to show you. I am surprised, I'm excited, and I cannot wait to get into it. If this is your first time joining me, hey, I'm Kelly and I'm the Car Mom. I review cars for moms and for families. I'm a mom of 3 and I'm a certified child passenger safety tech. Please subscribe to my channel and comment below which other vehicle tours you want to see next. I've got a lot of big things planned for the remainder of the year, but let's get started with the 2024 Subaru CrossTrek. This car got redesigned for 2024, and it is what we call like a subcompact SUV. This is a pretty competitive market, but I was actually surprised to find out that the CrossTrek is Subaru's #1 selling SUV. So there are a lot of people who like this car. Now I have the sport trim level today, so we have a lot of like sport accents, which I'll be sure to point out along the way, but I'm going to keep the majority of this tour focused on how the actual CrossTrek would work for families. And if you want to get more trim specific, there's a lot of other great videos out there on the internet. They very much give like in between wagon and sedan. So we're definitely going to see those similar elements here in the CrossTrek Sport. Part of the Sport is you get all this yellow accents. This with the blue, it's a little loud for me personally, but I can see how it's at least giving sport. And to have like these kind of fun elements on a car with a $32,000 price point, I do think it's kind of fun if that's what you're looking for. On her side profile, you are going to see, again, kind of like that in-between wagon and sedan and SUV kind of look. We also have functional roof rails. These are not just for looks. You can actually put things on top of here, including like a camper, which I learned, which I thought was, or not a camper, like a little tent thing. Not for me, but if it's for you and your outdoorsy family, I love that you have that option on such a small car. Okay, and then the back end of the CrossTrek, you're going to see we do have a wiper blade included, which apparently other vehicles in this segment of this like compact crossover don't always have this included. So this is a nice feature. This is also all-wheel drive. Again, at this price point, to have an all-wheel drive SUV is pretty exciting for a brand new car. So let's get into the interior. I want to talk you through some of the safety and technology features, and then we're going to spend a lot of time in the back seat talking about the car seat setup. Okay, you guys, here we are. Let's break down the door panel. So it's not, I'm going to be honest, we don't have the most luxurious materials on the interior. We have a little bit of like faux soft touch leather here. The rest is cloth and then kind of like a fake looking carbon fiber. The seats themselves are also not leather available on this sport trim. I believe in the other models of the CrossTrek, you can get leather seats, I think in the limited. So it's fine. I really like leather seats. I think they hold up better for kids, but I'm not mad. Well, you know, I would like leather seats. We do have a leather wrap steering wheel, which feels nice. And then we get into some updated tech in the Subaru lineup. Now there are a few things I would like to see, like a more full digital display, but we still have some decent technology in this infotainment system. So let me get you over to the other side. Okay, let's break down some of the features that you're going to get on this $32,000 CrossTrek. We're going to start with the sunroof. That is power. That's exciting. Subaru does not do panoramic sunroofs in this car, so this is all you're going to get, but still nice. Lets in some natural light. We also are going to move into this huge infotainment system. I mean, this is a big screen, especially for the size of this car. I would be lying if I said Subaru's infotainment system was my favorite. I do think it's a little clunky and a little outdated, but it's still a nice big touchscreen that is going to have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is always nice. All of our climate control is also integrated into the screen, except for our temperature, but our fan is down here. I felt like that was just a little bit clunky. I actually prefer the climate control pulled out just so it's a little bit easier and you don't have to worry about like your screen breaks, like you can still turn down the air. But moving down here, we do have a wireless charging found in this trim, which is exciting, a USB and a USB-C, heated seats, 2 cup holders, and then honestly, for the size of a car, a pretty decent size center console. There's my iPhone for reference. I mean, I'll take it. I want to give you a better shot of these kind of cloth sport style seats. I mean, they did try to make them look a little bit more interesting. Let me know what you think of this yellow, guys. I'm like feeling kind of torn about it. So overall, my driver's comfort is pretty good. I mean, I'm about 6 feet tall. I do have decent headroom. We also do have power seats in this there's an extra trim on this Sport, but we do have power seats, which is great. Okay, now it's time to talk about the second row. So this is a 5-passenger car, which means we have 3 seats back here, and our car seat setup, as far as the hardware is concerned, is 5 lower anchors and 3 tether anchors. So let's talk about what that means for you. The five lower anchors, I'm going to be honest, doesn't mean much. It means you have 2 on the outboard seats, 1 in the middle. That 1 in the middle, I will demonstrate when you would use that later. It doesn't really mean much, but you do have 3 tether anchors. I was able to fit 3 car seats across with a certain combination. I have been very into the Graco Slim Fit 3LXs. I only have 2 here because my husband took 1 of them, but I was able to fit 3. As you can see, I have plenty of room to fit the other one, and I could even sit here myself. So certain combinations may be more difficult than others. I would especially say if you're trying to fit booster seats back here, sometimes booster seats are actually harder than car seats because you would need the access to the buckle. It's not that we had overlap with these buckles, but the buckles are kind of rigid, so they're not that flexible. So that can make doing multiple boosters back here a little bit harder. Now, the first thing I do want you to notice is all that great headroom I had up here, it does slope down just a little bit, and there's this like, the frame of the door kind of affects my headroom a little bit, if you can kind of see this, but granted, I'm really tall. Like, I get it, I'm 6 feet tall. I feel good about my knee clearance, and to be next to a car seat of a car of this size, of this subcompact SUV, I'm very impressed. Now, some other things I want to talk about back here. USB, USB-C, no air vents. It's going to be toasty for the kids. No air vents back here, which can be difficult. So really, if you're rear facing, you have nothing. If you're forward facing, you only have what's going on up there. But if you're looking for a affordable small SUV that can fit 3 car seats in a pinch, this is a pretty good option. Now, this is a rear facing Graco Slim Fit 3LX, and I just wanted to show you the clearance with my seat set for a tall driver, about 6 feet tall. So honestly, a couple of inches, which is great. Okay, so I told you earlier that this car has 5 lower anchors, and I just kind of want to break through what that means, because this is something we see happen in cars every so often and kind of randomly, especially in like the smaller SUV category. So when a vehicle has a 5th lower anchor, it gives you the ability to put a car seat in the middle seat when you're using the lower latch anchors. Now, different car seats have different preferences on if that's the preferred installation method or not. But regardless of preferred installation method, lower anchors always have weight limits. So like my kids, for example, I have bigger kids, like 90th percentile. They're out of the weight limits like well before like they're even old enough to flip forward. So I always opt for a seatbelt installation, especially with the car seats I have. But I wanted to show you what this would look like. So there's a lower anchor in this seat. There's just one, and you're supposed to share it with this one in this right seat. So now we have a car seat installed with latch instead of the seatbelt. But the problem is when you do that, then you lose the seat completely because now the buckle is underneath the car seat. So now it's a 4-passenger car. So it's not that like I hate it, but I think a lot of families see that 5th lower anchor and think it means like it's the most car seat friendly car in the world. Now this one's kind of an exception because it is for the size of the car, it is pretty decent for 3 o'clock cross, but I just kind of wanted to explain what that 5th lower anchor actually means. So hopefully that was helpful. Let's take a look at the trunk. Here's one thing I hate about this car, no power tailgate. Like the way I would rather, this is a hot take, not have heated seats than have a power tailgate. That's like, I know that's weird, like that's just like one of my favorite features. Okay, here's our trunk. This is a Mockingbird stroller. It fits, it doesn't fit in every direction though. So, I mean, it's a little tight. It's not, the trunk space is decent. Trunk space is decent. And again, with like this kind of almost wagony coupe station roof, you do have a little bit lower clearance back here, so that's just something to note. I do very much appreciate the mat here. And then underneath we do have a spare tire as well, and we have a cargo cover. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this 2024 Subaru CrossTrek tour. Overall, I'm pretty impressed with how car seat friendly and family friendly this car is. I feel like even though it's small, they use their space well for the most part. I mean, I'd love a little bit more headroom for taller drivers in the second row, but then I would have a bigger car. So I kind of understand why it is the way that it is. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of this car, and I will see you next time.